You know, it's like anything else. When you get your nose bloodied, you either choose to turn it up or you turn it down. And fortunately, the guys I get to work with every week came out with an attitude. Football is not a hard game. It's a hard game to play. We've got to really, really intensify the discipline part of our game tonight to come out victorious.
Game number 3, the final non-district contest. Welcome to Wilkerson Sanders Memorial Stadium. It's the Carroll Dragons and the Rockwall Yellow Jackets. Chuck Kelly, Kelly Milligan, Travis Smith, and the rest of the Metro Sports crew getting ready to get this one started. Good crowd has turned out here on a very warm evening. It is time for our game time weather conditions. 90 degrees in Rockwall. As Travis told you earlier, the wind blowing out of the south. That'll be at the Dragons' back as they go from right to left as we look at it high atop the stadium. And again, no chance of rain now. It's supposed to come once we get into the morning, so it'll be a clear path tonight as we are ready to introduce the officials. These are our good friends out of the Dallas chapter.
Miles McCord, referee McKinney.
Eric Ames, umpire Saxey.
Tom Troutman, line judge Colleyville.
Rob Marks, head linesman Frisco.
Sheldon Davis, back judge Dallas.
Dragons won the toss, deferred to the second half, so Rockwall will take the football again going north to south as Cole Ravage approaches and puts the right foot into the Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine kickoff, and he puts it through the back of the end zone, so Rockwall will have it 1st and 10 from its 20-yard line. Let's introduce the Rockwall offense. The quarterback is 5'11" senior Matt Jones, who's completed only 46% of his passes this year, 314 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Their feature back, Captain A.J. Blackdahl, 37 carries, 201 yards, and 5.5 per carry, 1 touchdown for the 5'7", 195-pound senior. Cameron Creighton, Reed Rako, Cole Talley, and Sam Crawford, the receivers, as they will go out of a 4-receiver set most of the time. We'll give you the offensive line in a moment as they start a man in motion from left to right and hand it off to Blackdahl on 1st down. And from the 25, he'll go straight up the gut and he'll get 4 yards out to the 29 before Matt Werner on the tackle for the Dragons. The offensive line for Rockwall averaging 260 pounds across the front. Kevin Smith, the left tackle, 6'2", 265 and a junior. The left guard, a good one, Donick Smalley, 6'1", 285 and a senior. The center, a returning starter, Justin Childers, 6'4", 225 and a junior. The rest in a moment as on 2nd down, the pass to Blackdahl is caught in a broken tackle over the right side at the 40, gets out to the 45 to the 50 into Dragon territory inside the 40, and he's down near the 36-yard line before he's finally brought down. A little toss to Blackdahl, and he goes for 35 yards before Robert Barnes makes the tackle.
A little bit of a wrinkle out of this Rockwall offense. They don't throw to Blackdahl a lot, only 1 reception for 2 yards, but that time just a little perimeter set up behind blockers to the right side. Does a good job picking his way down the sideline, makes a couple guys miss.
So the Yellow Jackets 1st down and 10 at the Dragon 36-yard line here early. Snap it to the quarterback Jones. He'll hand it to Blackdahl, and he'll pick his way at right guard inside the 35, maybe a half yard more. He gets about 1.5 yards on the play as Warner and Jeter on the tackle. The rest of that offensive line for Rockwall, the right guard is junior Robert Scruggs, 5'10", 285 pounds. He's a big one. The right tackle is Hunter Gistel, 6'3", 240 and a senior. Rockwall on the move, 2nd down and 9 from the Dragon 35-yard line as the little play fake and a quick slant pass caught over on the left side inside the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 6 yards for Sam Crawford, who makes his 8th reception of the year. And Kelly, 6 yards, that's all for this guy?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the Carroll Dragons doing a nice job holding him below his 31-yard per catch average, but he just leans forward on that slant route and gets 7 pretty easily.
That's an average killer right there. Stacked receivers on the right side. They'll line up a wing to the left and hand it to Blackdahl, and he will dance into the middle of the line of scrimmage, the 29. Needed to get to the 26 for the 1st down, but it looks like he's about a half yard short as Matt Werner was the first one there and the rest of the defense helping out. We are 2 minutes into the football game. Rockwall with the opening kick has moved it. They're into the field, the 25 all the way down to the Dragon 27-yard line, and they're looking at a 4th down and 1, and they're going to go for it. They line up a blocking back to the near side. Matter of fact, no one in the backfield as a flag flies before the snap. They were starting jet motion, it looked like, from A.J. Blackdahl, and there was a jump on the offensive line, probably the left tackle, Kevin Smith, we believe it was, 5 yards of the mark-off, and that will turn a 4th and 1 into a 4th and 6. So does this change the decision here, Kelly?
Well, it's a 44-yard field goal into the wind. Rodney Webb trusts his kicker from that 50 to 53 range with the wind to his back. Probably doesn't want to take a chance on the field goal here, but if you're moved back 5 yards, I think you probably just keep the offense out and you open up the playbook, do something a little different.
Tally 0 for 1 on the year in field goal tries. He's also a receiver, so that has something to do with it. They're going to go for it here on 4th down and 6. Rockwall opening drive of the game for the Dragon, 32-yard line. One receiver left, two to the right, snap to Jones, and again a stoppage of play right when the ball is hiked from the center. Childers, now let's see what the call from the umpire is going to report to Miles McCord, and another procedure against Rockwall. 5 more yards, so 4th and 1 becomes 4th and 11. You still want to go for it, Kelly?
Yeah, at this point, maybe you just try to corner them and see if you can pin them deep, play field position ball. But this is not going to make Rodney Webb happy. These self-inflicted mistakes in the first quarter have been a problem through the first 2 games.
Rockwall orange, top to bottom, orange headgear, orange jerseys, orange pants, white numerals. They've got the oval on the side of the helmet with the orange R, the white oval with the orange R. The Dragons in the traveling white changed their uniforms. We'll tell you about it in a moment. As on 4th and 11, a play fake, rolling to the right, throwing to the sidelines, caught inside the 25, down to the 24. Sam Crawford, the reception in front of Zion Sales, a gain of 13 yards, and Rockwall converts the 4th and 11.
Not exactly beautiful, kind of a little bootleg out to the right by Jones. The throw tentative and a little wobbly. But Crawford just so big and tall, 6'1" with long arms. He's able to pull that in off a pipe right and move the chains for the first down.
So almost 3 minutes into the game, the Dragons still haven't touched the football. So they give it to Blacknall as he skips his way out to the left, breaks one tackle, breaks another, inside the 10, gets to the 5, touchdown Rockwall. 24 yards on the run by A.J. Blacknall. That's his second touchdown of the year. Some shoddy tackling by the Dragon defense, and Rockwall leads it 6-0.
Well, you said it, Chuck. That was not the best job of tackling that you would expect to see out of a Tim Wasson coach defense, and they're going to hear about it when they get back to the sideline. But 24 yards on the run, and 21 of those were after initial contact.
So here's Cole Talley on for the PAT. This has been a little problematic for the Jackets this year. The point after brought to you by Southlake Baptist Church, as the ball put down on the tee by Caleb Estes, and the kick is up, and it's good. Timeout on the field, 8:56 to go, opening quarter. The Jackets strike first. It's Rockwall 7 and Carroll 0. Dragon football continues in a moment. First points the Carroll Dragons have allowed this year in the first quarter, and Rockwall with an early 7-0 lead, 8:56 to go here in the opening quarter, and a deep onside kickoff to the Dragon 28-yard line, taken with a fair catch, as the Dragons will have it at that point, hauled in there by Royce Weigel, and 1st and 10 Carroll, trailing 7-0. First down and 10, Dragons to their own 28-yard line as Mason Holmes, the quarterback, pitches on the jet sweep action. Cade Bell running room left across the 30, 35, gets out to the 40-yard line. Gain of about 12 on the play as Abbas Bell, the free safety, makes the tackle for Rockwall. So Holmes, the quarterback, 6'1" senior, has thrown for 493 yards, no touchdowns this year, 3 interceptions. He has Audric Gaines and Jack Johansson in the backfield, alternating time, and it is Johansson who's in there right now. As Johansson, the senior, has run for a couple of touchdowns this year already, will line up to the left of the quarterback Holmes, who plays sidelines to the left, open field to the right side. 2 receivers either side, and the pass complete. It's Robert Barnes looking for a block at the 40, 45, 50 is the first down as he skips across the numbers into Rockwall territory, tackled at the 48-yard line by Anthony Orji. A gain of 13 yards on the play. So the Dragons moving the ball early into Rockwall territory. 8:22 to go opening quarter, and Rockwall on top 7-0. Up over the football, Ryan Miller, center for the Dragons. Matt Leanne and Henry Kling are the guards. Carson Green and Jackson Kimball are the tackles as they line up an empty back set this time. 2 receivers left, 3 wide to the right. Holmes shotgun snap, going to air it out, going deep down around the 15. Feet tangled up at that point, the ball overthrown and incomplete. They were looking for Barnes, had double coverage back there, and again, it was just a matter of the feet getting tangled as both Garrett and Anderson back on the coverage for Rockwall.
And if the feet don't get tangled, Barnes was starting to get separation from that double coverage. He's probably where he needs to be to make the catch on kind of a nice inside look off the post route. That was good timing for a guy that has not played a lot of receiver.
Dragons stay over the ball, trailing 7-0, 4 minutes into the game. From the Rockwall 46-yard line, snap it to Holmes. Quarterback draws straight up the middle of the room. 40, 35, 30, into the open 20. Turns left 15, gets to the 10, he's to the 5, dives to the pylon, and that should be a touchdown. And it is! Touchdown, Carroll Dragons, as Mason Holmes goes 46 yards and gets the Dragons on the scoreboard.
There's something you don't see just every week out of Mason Holmes. As prolific a passer as he is, he's never really been thought of as a running threat. Didn't have one carry last week, but Coach Wasson told us before the start of the season they needed some big plays on the ground from Mason Holmes. You aren't going to get too many bigger than that.
Well, he had minus numbers in the rushing category coming into this game, that coming from the 3 sacks that he's had, as Will Bowers is going to hold for the PAT. As Cole Ramage is on, trying to tack on. 7th point of the ball game and even this one up. 7:50 to go here in the opening quarter. So a very impressive answer drive for the Carroll Dragons. As Ramage waiting on the snap, Bowers gets it down, and the PAT is up, and it is good. We'll take a break. 7:50 to go opening quarter. Dragons strike right back. It's Carroll 7, Rockwall 7. Dragon football continues after this time on. Well, the suddenly fleet of foot Mason Holmes takes it into the end zone from 40-plus yards as kickoff from Cole Ramage into the end zone. And it will be 1st and 10 Rockwall from its own 25. 7:50 to go here in the opening quarter. And the game tied at 7. Patriot Mobile brings you the scoring drive for the Dragons. 4 plays, 72 yards, taking 1 minute and 6 seconds. The 46-yard burst by Mason Holmes, who gets him into positive numbers on the year. Again, Patriot Mobile, just like your current mobile phone provider, Patriot Mobile offering the same great nationwide talk, text, and 4G LTE data services and all the popular phones, but they donate up to 5% of your monthly bill to conservative organizations of your choice. You can have an effect. On 1st and 10 for the 25, the deep handoff to A.J. Blacknall, who will go at guard and gets jammed up right at the line of scrimmage. The 25 out to the 27, Eric Spidler and John Miskell on the tackle for the Dragons. Now, I didn't mean to leave you hanging a moment ago when we were talking about the Dragon uniforms. They are in their sharp traveling whites. Still very cool the way they look on the road, but there is a change to the numerals. They are now the dragon skin numerals, and they look almost lime green. So white uniforms, tops and bottoms, and the lime green numerals is a play fake on 2nd down and 7, and there's a marker down as the pass is caught over to the left sideline by Sam Crawford out beyond the 35, and he's twisted off his feet after a 10-yard gain out to the 38. It's Barrett Buck and Eric Spidler on the tackle for the Dragons. We'll see what this flag is. Looks like it's coming back.
Couldn't make out the signal, but you could see the direction the referee was pointing. This one is coming back.
I'm not sure what the penalty is, marked all the way back to the 13-yard line. So it's a 15-yard penalty against the Rockwall Yellow Jackets, and it's going to be a quarterback draw. The snap to Jones. He'll tuck it, run up the middle, gets to the 20, 25, hit hard as he's knocked down right at the 29. Gain of about 17 yards on the play as Robert Barnes is the one that really laid the lumber to Matt Jones.
Yeah, that was a pretty violent collision. Jones spun out of it and actually still managed to move forward just a little bit, but he paid the price for those 17 yards. He did, though, get back a pretty good chunk of what was lost on the penalty.
Jones with the 2-back set. A.J. Blacknall lines up at the high-back position. They've got the H-back in there, Reed Rako as well. 1 receiver to the left, short side of the field, 2 wide side to the right. On 3rd down and 5 from the Rockwall 30-yard line. Rako starts in motion, will play fake to Blacknall, and now Jones is going to roll toward his right, throws to the sidelines, caught at the 30 and out of bounds at that point. Cole Talley, as he's immediately pushed out by Barrett Buck with help from Eric Spidler, going to be short of what he needed for the 1st down. He got 2 of the 5. It'll be 4th down and 3, and it looks like Rockwall will be forced to give it up.
Carroll's front 3 doing a much better job on that scramble by Jones. He rolls out to his right, but for the most part, the Dragons stayed home, and they were able to keep him from breaking the running play. Good job by the linebackers covering the pass.
It's a snap to the putter, and Matt Jones, who his quarterback and punter. Boots it away, line drive, fielded at the Dragon 34. It was a fair catch, although it looked like Cade Bell stumbled forward a little bit. And the Dragons will have good field position, 5:46 to go here, opening quarter after a 34-yard punt. On first down and 10, a little swing pass. It's actually a lateral caught by Jack Johansson over in the right flat. And he'll get out beyond the 30, out to the 35, and he's got 9 yards on first down as he's actually brought down at the 43 is where he said he went out by Blake Barone, the linebacker for the Rockwall Yellow Jackets.
Nicely designed play, getting Johansson the ball out there in space. He's not as good between the tackles as Audie Gaines, but if he's got a sliver, he's got the speed to go with it.
Two-back set for the Dragons. There's a little play fake, and now a deep pass over the middle, man wide open, caught at the Rockwall 20-yard line, and it is Cade Bell inside the 10, drags a defender down to the 5-yard line, and is finally tackled by Abbas Bell, but not before a 48-yard pass and run from Mason Holmes to Cade Bell.
Key to that play is the jet sweep motion. Carroll has that defense frozen because they see the receiver coming laterally. Everybody sucks in on that. Bell was open by 4 or 5 steps, waving and saying, "Throw me the ball."
So now first and goal from the 5. The Dragons will hand it off. Gaines bounces outside left, and he will stroll into the end zone. First carry of the night for Audric Gaines, and the senior gets his 4th touchdown of the year. So the Dragons, who fell behind early 7-0, now come back to put 2 scores on the board. It's now 13-7.
Gaines looks good on that run, just blowing behind Green and Lehan out there on the left side. He hits the perimeter and goes in virtually untouched.
Kick is up, and it is good by Cole Ramage. We've got a break in the action with 5:16 to go opening quarter. New score, Carroll 14 and Rockwall 7. Carroll's scoring drive, replay 66 yards, took just 30 seconds. Carroll TDs just 2 minutes and 34 seconds apart as Cole Ramage with the kickoff through the back of the end zone with that wind behind him. And it will be Rockwall starting from its 25. Check down to Travis Smith after this play as it's first down and 10. Rockwall starting from its 25-yard line. Again, going from left to right in the all-orange uniforms. Orange tops and bottoms into the Dragon white as they start a man in jet sweep motion to the right and hand it to Sam Crawford with the marker down as he gets across the 30 out to the 31-yard line. Barnes on the tackle for the Dragons. Now we'll check the flag as we've got a sideline update with Travis.
Well, the Dragons showed you a new wrinkle offensively on that last big pass play. It was a fake right power sweep to Jake Johansson, and then they had an end around to Robert Barnes, and with his back to the defense, that's when he makes that fake. He kept his back to the defense for a little while, then spun around, and of course wide open in the middle of the field. That's a Dragon receivers right there. So we've never seen that play run before, but you kind of make you curious. Is Robert Barnes going to take a few end arounds and run the football this year?
Well, we will keep an eye on that as that running play, and then a personal foul against the Dragons is going to move the ball all the way out to the Rockwall 46-yard line. So near midfield go the Jackets, 6 yards on the run and then 15 on the penalty. And a stacked receiver set to the left side, 1 to the right, as they're going to throw it to that 2 receiver side. Caught by Sam Crawford looking for a block at the 45, but he's knocked right down at the line of scrimmage. The 46, Eric Spidler and Barrett Buck both over there for the Dragons. And that'll stop him essentially for no gain on the play.
Good job getting off the block by the Carroll defender, and I can't tell whether it was Spitler or Buck because I'm having a hard time with those numbers, but he was tied up by a perimeter receiver, fought his way off the block to make the tackle.
So now second down, and call it 9 yards from just short of the 47-yard line. In motion goes Crawford, snap it to Jones out of the gun. He gives it to A.J. Blacknall, and he will get essentially a half yard perhaps on the play as Zachary Simrak, the nose guard, and Luke Jeter combine about 500-600 pounds of beef there to knock him down after a short gain on the play.
Rockwall running sideways, the lateral motion on just about every play. They're showing jet sweep and shifting. Carroll defense doing a good job knowing when to stay home and make sure to pinch into the middle as they did on that play to stop Blacknall.
Third down and 9 from the 47. A swing pass, and that ball is incomplete in the backfield, and it was almost a lateral as they were trying to swing it in the flat to Blacknall and let him elude a defender. But Barrett Buck, who's having a heck of a game so far early, was there to lay the lumber to the receiver as Jones with the first incompletion. Now 5 of 6 in the game, and Rockwall facing fourth down should be forced to punt.
Yeah, Blacknall kind of tips that up into the air, and just as he does, Buck comes crashing downhill and runs into him, so no chance to make the reception, and it does look like Rockwall is lining up for the punt.
Matt Jones, the quarterback, drops back to punt formation, 34 yards his first time. This one is into the wind. Now he is rolling, looks like he's going to throw, and he does throw to the sidelines, and it's caught for a first down in Dragon territory over the right boundary, right in front of the Rockwall bench, as the catch was made by Sam Crawford. He got 10 yards, needed 9 for the first down. Zion Sales was on the coverage, so that's the danger, Kelly. When you have that quarterback as your punter, he can do more things than just kick it away.
Well, Rodney Webb sort of warned us about that earlier in the week, saying that he's got the decision-making capability in the arm to create off fourth down, and that's exactly what he did there.
First down and 10 from the 43, play fake to Blacknall, and now the quarterback Jones gets a yard from the 43 down to the 42 before the interior of the Dragon defense, led by Jeter and Simrak, in there to stop him.
Sort of a run-pass option, fakes the handoff to Blacknall, looks downfield, sees that he's got nothing, sees a little sliver off to his left, going behind Childers and Smalley, but closed up pretty quickly by that Carroll defensive front.
Taking a while to get the play in for the near side. Still 15 seconds on the play clock, so they've got plenty of time left. Sam Crawford and Cole Talley, the receivers to the left. Single receiver Creighton comes short side of the right. Rako starts in motion, sets up wing to the right. Now bring more motion this way, and the quarterback, Jones, with the snaps, going to keep it a running play around the right end. Gets in the line of scrimmage to the 42, down inside the 40, the 38, gain of about 4. As Matt Werner, the junior will linebacker, on the stop. That was a fire drill right before the snap, Kelly.
Well, it looked like they were trying to fix something on Jones's helmet, and there they are doing it again. It's Reed Rako. It looks like a chin strap adjustment. I can't tell exactly, but there does seem to be an issue with the hat.
Clock down on 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in quarter number 2. As Rockwall facing a third down. They're 0 of 3 on third down tries, so they're perfect 2 for 2 on fourth. But third down and 5 from the 38-yard line. Snap it to Jones. Quick pass right side, trying to set up a screen, and it's incomplete as it went off the hands of Reed Rako. As heavy penetration coming for the Dragons. Sales and Miskell were out playing the receiver, but again, the Dragon interior had a lot of pressure coming in on Jones.
He had to unload that in a hurry. The screen wasn't quite set up the way you want it. Still a catchable ball for Rako, who in the H-back gives them a little dimension. He's not just a road grader blocker. He's a pretty gifted receiver. Not able to hang on to that one, though, as the hit came.
Well, Rockwall's going to go for it here. Fourth down and 5 at the Dragon 38-yard line. 3 in the pattern. Heavy pressure right up the middle. Jones gets rid of it. Blacknall the catch. Breaks the tackle at the 40. Spins right side 30. Down the boundary 25, 20, 15. And he's down at the Dragon 10-yard line. As A.J. Blacknall took the toss from Jones, and away he went. Buck was the one that made the tackle. The heavy pressure was coming from Vlanderen, and he got rid of the football, but I wondered who it was that broke the tackle here, because one of the Dragons had him, Kelly, dead to rights.
And had him for, it would have been about 2 yards short of the first down. Just not good tackling again.
First down and 10 from the 13, and the handoff going to the 11-yard line to Blacknall. So bring up second down and 8, under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. The Dragons on top 14-7. Spiller and Miskell on that last tackle. But again, we've seen a couple of plays early that Rockwall has broken for big yardage, and it really circles back just to some poor tackling by the Dragons.
And that's something you can solve and adjust for. Right? Guys are in position but not making the hits, and the staff will have something to say about that. Jones passing on third down. He's 1 of 3 for 2 yards. All other down, 6 of 6 for 90.
On second down and 7 from the 10-yard line, it was a handoff to A.J. Blacknall, and he will get a yard down to the 9, 8.5 should say. It's a third down and 6 coming. Miskell on that last tackle. Early score on our out-of-town scoreboard. Allen strikes first, the number 1 team in the state on top of Coppell. 7-0 first quarter at Buddy Eccles Field. Right here it's 14-7, Dragons on top, down on a minute to go in the first quarter, as the Yellow Jackets marching to the end zone at our right. Starter man in motion had a jump from the left guard, and that's going to cost him 5 yards. So 3rd down and 6 will become 3rd and 11. Of course, earlier in the game, it didn't really hurt him any. Wound up with a 4th and 11, still converted.
Yeah, what you're finding is it's 4-down territory pretty much anywhere on the field for the Rockwall Yellow Jackets here in the early going.
Trinity over Heritage, 14-0 at Mustang Panthers Stadium. That one first quarter. Hebron over Plano West, 7-0. That one over in Plano, John Clark Field. Northwest and Byron Nelson tied at 7. Marcus, 10-7 over Mansfield in the first. And Louisville, 14-0 over Boyd. Beg your pardon, 10-0 over Boyd in the first quarter. On 3rd down and 11, quarterback Jones back to throw. Now rolls, chunks to the end zone, right at the pylon, and there's a battle for the football, and who came up with it?
Well, they're signaling he looks like he was out of bounds when he made the catch, if he did.
Okay, incomplete. Well, there were 2 players battling for the football. It was the receiver, Sam Crawford, and Zion Sales. Both said, I got it. No, you don't. And the official waiting to make the call, and after all that, it's incomplete. And it's 4th down and 11 from the 14, and it looks like Rockwall is going to send the field goal team on.
So they would have you believe.
Or maybe not. They just had a whole lot of changes. Now here they come.
Yeah, here he is.
Yeah, I thought it was.
So Cole Talley, a Division I kicker, but as you mentioned, also a wide receiver.
Well, they're down to 5 on the play clock. Now 4 and 3. They better hurry if they're going to get it off. Down to 1. They didn't, although the snap comes back, but the officials blew it down, said, hey, tack 5 more yards onto that. So what was about to be a 27-yard field goal. Instead, they did get the timeout call. Let's break here. 27 seconds to go. First quarter, Dragons leading 14-7. Out of the timeout, Cole Talley bangs it from 32 yards on the way. It's good, and the Carroll Dragons have seen their lead cut down to 14-10 as Talley with his first field goal of the year. So after a 27-yarder that would have been no good, they had the penalty call, or the timeout, I should say, not the penalty. They had the timeout called, and then they come out and do it all over again, and they get it right. So the Jackets pulled to within 4 at 14-10. 13 plays on the Rockwall drive, 61 yards, taking 4 minutes and 53 seconds. And Rockwall is going to try an onside kick that's not going to go anywhere near 10 yards. In fact, it went 2 yards from the 40 to the 42. And the Rockwall man that was touching it down said, really? And just kind of grabbed it. Now Carroll's going to have outstanding field position with 23 seconds to go here in quarter number 1. Carroll's offense has been on the field for 1 minute and 36 seconds in this first quarter, yet they lead 14-10, a long scoring run of 46 yards by Mason Holmes and a 5-yard dash by Audric Gaines, the 2 touchdowns. In fact, the 2 drives have been a combined 7 plays, and that's been it for Carroll. So the Dragons will start going right to left. From the Rockwall, 43 is where they put it down. First down and 10 at that point as the Dragons go from a 5-wide set, 2 receivers short side to the left, trips wide to the right, and a 4-man rush. Now here comes a blitz, 6 in on Mason Holmes, and he is dropped back at the 50-yard line. There were more penetration than there was blockers, and it was Chris Williams, the junior backup defensive tackle, who gets the 4th sack of the year on Mason Holmes. It's a loss of 7.
Williams is kind of the 6th man of that defensive front. They bring him in off the bench, and he provides a real spark plug as he did there. Blitzer coming just about unblocked and able to basically detonate a first down play for the Dragons, moving them back to midfield.
That's the end of quarter number 1, so we'll take a timeout in Rockwall. An entertaining first period, a lot of points on the board. It's Carroll 14 and Rockwall 10. Dragon football continues after this timeout. Start of the second quarter, Dragons up by 4, 14-10, and it's 2nd and 17 from the 50. And the quarterback, Mason Holmes, on a quarterback keep's going to come right side, 45, running toward the boundary to the 40, and inside that point down to the 35. A gain of 15 yards for Holmes before Anthony Orji making the tackle for the Rockwall Yellow Jackets, but another nifty run by Mason Holmes.
He did a nice job making a cut back inside off the block of Cade Bell. That got him about an extra 4 yards.
Here's the snap. To Holmes on third down and 2, beg your pardon, from the 35. In trouble is the running back. Gaines tried to reverse his field as flags fly, and it was Cameron Shackard who came in from the end position and dropped him for a loss on the play as Gaines gave ground, and it's going to be a loss all the way back to the 46. That's an 11-yard loss, and the flag against the Dragons. Rockwall is going to say no thanks, so Carroll will punt it away.
Gaines trying to reverse field and make a big play after he was shut down running to the right. And probably sometimes discretion is the better part of the valor. You've got to know to just cut your losses.
Well, Cole Ramage, who's punted 8 times this year for a 41-yard average, will try to pin Rockwall inside the 20 as a right-footed kick to Crawford at his 10-yard line, calls for a fair catch and makes it at the 2-yard line. We'll call it the 3, but a great kick by Ramage, and maybe not such a good decision by Crawford. 43 yards on the punt, and the Dragons, leading by 4, will have Rockwall pinned deep. They're on into the field. There's also a marker down on the field. We'll keep an eye on that. Well, a tough penalty called right there against the Dragons, who had Rockwall trapped deep back around the 3-yard line. It is a personal foul face mask. It'll take it 15 yards out to the 18-yard line. And on first down and 10, the fake to the running back, and instead it's going to be Crawford at the end around. He's got room, gets to the 25, 30, gets middle of the field to the 40, and will be all the way out to the 43-yard line before he's finally tackled by Zion Sales. 25 yards on the run. First down, Rockwall.
Crawford really an X factor in that offense. Not only dangerous as a receiver, but you see how well he runs with the ball. It's the position that Ja'Cory Shepard played in the Horn offense, and Webb knew he had a good one in Crawford.
From the 43-yard line, first and 10, Jones, quick pass, bullet over to the sideline in front of the Rockwall bench. It's caught there by Cameron Creighton, the junior captain, who's tackled by Jake Murphy, who you heard on the pregame show, and Jacob Doddridge. So Jake and Jacob on the stop. We've already had 7 plays in the game for Rockwall of 10 yards or more.
This is an offense that can be very explosive. Over the last 2 seasons, they've broken 60 points like 13 or 14 times.
Under 10 minutes to go until halftime. Dragons up by 4 as they will fake the handoff to Blackdaw. Keeping around right in, Jones eludes the tackler as he gets across midfield into Dragon territory at about the 49.5-yard line. Give him about 7.5 on the gain as Spittler and Miskell have been busy tonight, combining on that tackle for Carroll.
And that Rockwall offensive line looks to be getting in rhythm. They are driving Dragons back, and they're opening some holes for their runners. So that's a trend you'd like to not see continue.
Donnie and Renee Osborne checking in from Columbus, Ohio.
So we've got Maine and we've got Ohio.
Good representation so far. We get a flag before the play and another third down penalty perhaps against Rockwall. It was 3rd and 3 just across the 50-yard line, and now it's going to cost him 5 yards. Thought maybe that was just Donnie checking in because our old alma maters played last weekend, and those vaunted Brewer Bears defeated the Weatherford Kangaroos 28-14. Weatherford 0-2 on the year.
Again.
It is football season, isn't it? Well, the 5-yard mark-off will take it back to the 45. Robert Scruggs out of the game, the big fella at right guard for Rockwall, and Austin Mullins comes back in. We get timeout called on the field. So it was taken by Rockwall. We'll hold it here with 8:58 to go here in quarter number 2. The Dragons leading by a score of 14-10. Well, out of the timeout, it is 3rd down and 7 for Rockwall at its own 46-yard line as they will start a man in motion. A little jet sweep action as they snap it. And running straight up the middle goes Jones across the 50-yard line. He's got the first down at the Dragon 45 down to the 42.5 is where he's brought down, as that was all kinds of motion. And again, confusion caused as it was Barnes and Buck who finally combined on the tackle. Gain of 11 and the first 3rd down of the game converted by Rockwall.
And that's what this Yellow Jacket offense wants to do. They get guys shifting laterally and in motion. You focus on that, and then it opens up the middle. Jones is a good enough runner to take advantage of it. 5 carries for 37.
Here's the snap to Jones. He's going to go on 1st and 10. Deep down the left side. Caught over the shoulder by Creighton at the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Rockwall. 43 yards on the strike from Matt Jones to Cameron Creighton. He beat Murphy and Barnes down the boundary, and Rockwall jumps on top 16-14.
Nice ball fake by Jones. Creighton gets a little separation and a couple steps on the receiver. Again, the ball not a perfect spiral, but he got it there. That's all he needed to do.
Well, that was that speed that we heard Rodney Webb talk about earlier in the week. We visited with him in the coaches' conference call as it was a sprint down the left sidelines. The Dragon defense just flat got beat. Timeout for the point after attempt, brought to you by South Lake Baptist Church. Remember that services on Sunday. As a botched snap picked up by the Dragons, they could return this. In fact, the tackle not made, and breaking into the open goes Doddridge, and he's running upfield to the 35 to the 40. He's to the 50. He's to the 40. Gets a great block at the 30, all the way to the 20 to the 10, and Jacob Doddridge is going to take it all the way down the field for 2 points. And the Dragons, just like that, have tied this one up.
Well, there's a little silver lining for you. Special teams have been kind of an adventure for Rockwall all season, and they've plagued the kicking game. This time it really comes back to bite them. The bad snap that leads to the return for 2 by the Dragon special teams unit.
Well, we'll talk about it out of the break. 8:31 to go. Second quarter, new score. Carroll 16, Rockwall 16. Tie game at 16. The kickoff down to the goal line, taken by Jake Murphy. Brought out across the 20, the 25, spins out of a tackle, gets to the 30. And that is where the Dragons will have it. First and 10, 8:22 to go here in the first half. Tied at 16. On first and 10, the Dragons with a slant pass over the middle. It's caught at the 30-yard line and out to the 34, maybe the 35 goes Cade Bell. So a gain of about 5. So down on 8 minutes to go here in the first half. The Dragons and Jackets tied at 16. Again, a little bit of Garo Yepremian back in the Dolphin Redskins Super Bowl lore. I forget what number that was. Is that number 7? Anyway, the bad snap, and then the ball popped in the air, and Doddridge just took it and went the other way. Here is Audric Gaines with a handoff, and on second down and 5 from the 35, he'll run left, and he'll get out to the 38 as he went to the sidelines as Barone on the tackle of Mike linebacker for the Rockwall Yellow Jackets.
Little stretch play. Couldn't quite get to the corner before Barone arrived coming downhill. Both of those linebackers very fast, aggressive, and active against the run.
2-back set. Holmes, the quarterback, takes the snap, and he'll hand it off to Audric Gaines, and he will go across the 40-yard line and get the first down to the 41. Pickup of 3 is Blake Garrett, the right safety, who's in on the tackle for the Rockwall Yellow Jackets. No game next week. Dragons have their bye week, and then district play starts 2 weeks from tonight in Flower Mound against the Jaguars. 3 weeks away for the big battle at Dragon Stadium against Trinity. As District 5 action gets started as we get play stopped right when the Dragons went to the line of scrimmage. Let's see what this is. Looks like it's going to be a timeout call. Timeout taken by Carroll. On first and 10 out of the timeout from the 41, it is Robert Barnes getting the ball in the end around as Barone on the tackle bumps it out right at the line of scrimmage. In fact, no gain on the play, so another wrinkle out of this Dragon offense.
Well, and it looked like that play had some potential. Blake Garrett came crashing in from his safety position, got penetration, and sort of rerouted the ball carrier. And that was just enough for the linebacking core to arrive and stop the play for negative.
3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Short side of the field is the right. On second down, caught 11 for the 40-yard line. Snap it to Holmes, has protection, throws over the middle, and the pass is through the hands up at the 48-yard line. Jackson Davis there to try to pull that one in, and Orgy was on the coverage there for Rockwall, so to bring it back to the line of scrimmage, it'll be third down and 11.
Yeah, Orgy is just a junior, 6'2", 220. Coach Webb says he already looks like he could be playing for the Seahawks. Haven't called his name much tonight, but he did a nice job there arriving at the same time as the ball and knocking it away.
1 for 2 on third down tries for the Dragons. Both were 3rd and 2. This time they need 11 as they'll set up the screen with a marker down as it's caught out of the backfield, and it was Jack Johansson across the 45, gets out near the 48-yard line. They got 8 of the 10 needed as Barone and David Rowland on the tackle for Rockwall, but now let's check the flag and see if it might be coming back. As Miles McCord, our referee out of the Dallas chapter, thinks we think it's going to be a hold. And ask Rockwall if they want to take it. There's the call, holding against Carroll, and they will march him back 10 yards. Would have brought up a 4th and 2 near midfield, but Rockwall wants to go ahead and march him back a little bit further.
Yeah, a little added safety after those first couple drives. Carroll not picking up the yards in chunks quite like they did early on in the game here tonight.
6:42 to go here, quarter number 1. Rockwall already out of its timeouts. They've used all 3, including that one just a moment ago. It wasn't Carroll, it was Rockwall that burned it. Carroll has all 3 of its timeouts remaining as the Dragons will go out of the split back set. They've got Johansson and Audric Gaines either side of Mason Holmes. As again, play is stopped. The officials talking about something down on the field. And now here comes the head linesman all the way across as he wants to join the fray. Zebra convention down around the 33-yard line. As the ball spotted now out at the 47-yard line. As they decline, they decide after all that, can you do that? Can you accept the penalty? And say, no, I changed my mind.
A mulligan of sorts.
Says Milligan. So 4th down from the 47. They'll bring Cole Ramage on. His first punt was 43 yards. If he gets a good snap, puts the right foot into it. We'll boot this one down into Rockwall territory. Kind of a short kick, hit it at the 25 and bounces to the left at the 20. Gets down to the 17-yard line. And that is where they'll kill it after a 35-yard punt. Hayden Hayes down to touch it for the Dragons. Is on 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. The quarterback Davis going to hand it to Blacknall, and he spins out across the left guard across the 20-25 and gets out near the 27-yard line. Going to be close with the first down as Zachary Simrak and Eric Spitler on the tackle for the Dragons. Looks like he got 9.5 of the 10 he needed. So Blacknall gets 9.5 yards, and on 2nd down and short, double play fake, going to air out, go deep down the middle near the Dragon 40-yard line. It was intended downfield for Jackson Smith. Interesting note, the pass was incomplete, by the way, as Smith, a freshman who has seen already one start this year.
Yeah, started the opener against Highland Park. Webb says he's never started a freshman before, but he's also never seen one with the poise and the polish in his game that this kid has as a 9th grader, and he's already developed into a real potential weapon for this offense.
Just the 4th incompletion of the game for Jones, who's 9 of 13 for 140 yards and a touchdown, as they'll hand it to Blacknall, who bounces out on the right side on 3rd down and a yard from the 27. He's got the yardage necessary out to the 29, so a couple there as Buck and Warner on the tackle, but a first down for Rockwall as Blacknall now halfway to the century mark, 10 carries, 50 yards.
And also a couple of big plays in the passing game. So he's been dangerous for the home team tonight.
First down and 10, beg your pardon, from the 29-yard line. Start Rayco in motion and set him up at a wing to the right side. Here's a play fake. Pass upfield. It's caught. Crawford has it. Sam Crawford across the 45. Gets out to the 48-yard line, and he's brought down after a 19-yard play. And a first down is Jake Murphy on the tackle for the Dragons.
And Crawford wide open on that pass. Just kind of a deep hook route, but Dragon defenders trying to keep everything in front of them. And so Crawford had about a 4 or 5 yard cushion when he pulled the ball in.
First down 10, Rockwall from its own 48-yard line. We're tied at 16, under 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Handed to Blacknall, sheds a tackle at the line of scrimmage as he crosses the 50, still churning the Dragon 45 and all the way down to the 44. A gain of 8 on the play. Robert Barnes of the tackle for Carroll. Another nice run there for Blacknall, now up to 58 yards in the game.
And again, doing a great job of running through the initial contact at the line of scrimmage and then just stepping it into that extra gear, picking up a quick 8 yards.
Carson Sargent in at the blocking back, replacing Rayco as they start from the 43-yard line. Snap it to Jones. Play action. Going to throw deep downfield. A little contact down around the Dragon 5-yard line as it was intended for Sam Crawford, but incomplete as Jake Murphy was back in the coverage. So very conventional, something you see in the pros and the colleges. Second and short, and Rockwall goes for the downs.
Absolutely. You know you can pick up third down with that big offensive line, and the way Blacknall is running, exploit it, see what you can do. It's almost like a free play.
So timeout called by the Dragons. Let's break, 4:19 to go here in the first half of the score. Carroll 16 and Rockwall 16. Gains a little less than a yard. It's now 4th down and a short one from just inside the Dragon 43. Tied late in the second quarter as they give it to Blacknall. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage. He's pushed backwards, and he's stopped for a loss on the play of 2 yards back to the 44 as Mason Vlannerin was the first one in there from his left end spot, and Eric Spidler also in there. So after Rockwall converted its first 2 fourth downs, they get stopped right there. Actually, the first 3, Kelly, now to think about it. So 3 of 4 on third down tries, and the Dragon defense comes up big.
And that is exactly what that Dragon defense needed, a little something to instill confidence. They have not played well on fourth down, and they've been out there a bunch in the early going.
So the Dragon offense comes back onto the field, 3:37 to go until halftime. Tied at 16, Carroll will start from its own 46-yard line. As Robert Sledge, who we saw near the end of the Martin game, is in there at the running back position. Lines up to the right of Holmes, who has 1 receiver short side to the left and 3 lined up to the right. Again, they're showing blitz up front, and they are going to throw the flags before the play even starts. It doesn't matter what happens, as we get a procedure penalty, perhaps against the Dragons, and that is going to be the case. It'll cost them 5.
That is, in fact, the call, and that is not what you want. Need to be moving the ball forward. The self-inflicted wounds when the offense is having a little bit of difficulty already.
Well, Carroll will now have it at its 41. First down and 15. 3:33 to go second quarter. Snap it to Holmes. Will put it in the belly of Gaines. Coming around the right side. Has the edge. Beg your pardon. It is Sledge. He gets across the 45. Gets to the 50. And he's knocked out of bounds at the Rockwall 46-yard line. So Orgy on the tackle, but it was Robert Sledge, the senior. And he's not a big guy. 5'7", 150. But Sledge, who had 48 yards last week in his Dragon debut, with a nice game there.
Yeah, kind of Shamar Coleman-esque the way he hits the corner.
They're going to run the option left, pitch the ball. This is Johansson running room as he gets inside the 45. First down, Dragons down to the 40 into the left sidelines. He gets all the way inside the 35, down to the 33. It's a gain of 13 yards. Back-to-back 13-yard plays. Abbas Bell and Ashton Orgy on the stop for the Rockwall Yellow Jackets. And now the Dragons on the move. 3:19 to go. Clock stop. Again, 16 all tie. From the 33-yard line. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. 1 running back. That is Johansson alongside Holmes. Takes the snap, going to air it out one-on-one down the left sideline. And it's incomplete inside the 10, looking for Robert Barnes. Being guarded over there by Tristan Anderson. So it'll be second down and 10 at that point.
And that's quite a matchup, Barnes on Anderson. Barnes will be playing Division I next year. Anderson, a junior, is a guy that Rodney Webb says will be a D1 corner.
Travis?
Actually, Barnes would have made that catch one-on-one, but Mason Holmes threw that out of bounds, so it didn't give him an opportunity.
Second down, 10 from the 33. 1 receiver, short side left. That is Barnes. Trips lined up to the right. It's going to be a 4-man rush as Holmes has protection. Can't find a receiver. Tucks it. Now runs out to the right side. Trying to find the corner. Instead gets down the boundary. Nice step to the 35 with the marker down to the 30. And he's out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Boy, the Rockwall coaches who are beside us in the booth to our left were screaming for a holding call. And I think they're going to get it. It's going to be a gain of about 6 on the play. So 3:01 at the clock stop here until halftime. And we will see the call from Miles McCord, who's been a busy guy here tonight.
Yeah, Rockwall, a lot of penalties in the first quarter. Carroll getting the flags here in the second.
Well, they are. Go ahead, Kelly.
Quick look, 4 flags on Rockwall in the first quarter, and this holding call is the 4th on Carroll in the second. So the penalties evened out, but Carroll not getting them here. You don't want those.
Well, this game has kind of gone into the molasses. Here's we get down to the end of the first half. A lot of points scored in the first half. It was 14-10 Dragons after 1, then Rockwall with a touchdown to take the lead, but a botched PAT. The Dragons' Jacob Doddridge returned it the length of the field to tie things up. at 16, and that's where we are right now as they're moving the ball back and forth and finally set it down at the 38-yard line.
Found a place they like, set it down.
Dragons go double stack receivers either side as the running back Johansson will line up to the left of the quarterback Holmes. Dragons going to the south into the wind here in the second quarter. Snap it to Holmes, can't find a receiver. Here comes trouble. He spins away from the defender. Now has the presence of mind to get rid of the football. Caught Cade Bell, right sideline, 30, inside the 25 to the 20 to the 15, bumped out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Abbas Bell, the senior free safety, on the tackle, a gain of 24 yards. What a heads-up play by Mason Holmes.
Holmes does a good job evading the rush and slipping a tackle, and then Bell, seeing that his quarterback is in trouble, comes back. Shackert was the one providing the pressure for Rockwall, but yeah, great heads-up play by Holmes.
First down and 10 from the 14. Dragons trying to claim the lead here late in the first half. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Snap it to Holmes, fade for the end zone. Overthrows as a receiver. That was Clayton Keys, who's one-on-one in the coverage back there. So it'll be second down and 10. Clock resting, 2:47 to go until halftime. Second down and 10 from the 14-yard line. Snap it to Holmes. Again has time. Going to throw over on the left side. It's intercepted. Picked off Bell. And down the right boundary he goes to the 30, to the 40 midfield. Down the sidelines to the 40. Tries to get inside Holmes at the 30 to the 25. And he is tackled at the 22-yard line. A 72-yard return for Abbas Bell, the senior, who gets his first pick of the year. Ryan Miller finally made the tackle. And the curse continues for Mason Holmes as he's picked for the 4th time this year.
Boy, and what a big play for Abbas Bell. This is a kid who was playing small school football in Connecticut. He is on the big stage here in Class 6A Texas, and he just made a big-time play.
The sideline update with Travis.
He was looking for Jackson Davis, who was open for a second, but then kind of drifted on towards the end zone, and he threw that to an open area in the field where there was no Dragon there, and the Rockwall defender obviously saw the football and made a good jump on it.
So talk about a momentum changer. It is first down and 10, Rockwall at the Carroll 22-yard line. Rayco moves the strength of the formation to the right, and they give it on a jet sweep, and with room, Crawford inside the 10, gets down to the 5, touchdown, Rockwall. Sam Crawford, again on a jet sweep, gets his second touchdown rushing of the year. And after that big mistake, the Jackets are on the board again. It's 22-16.
And you could just see the hole developing from up here as Crawford goes left to right on the jet sweep. I don't think anybody laid a hand on him.
Just a violent change in momentum here at the end of the half. The Dragons were about to take the lead after working it all the way down the field. And then Rockwall with a turnover. And to the other end, the touchdown as the point after is up and good by Cole Talley. As we take timeout with 2:28 to go here in the first half with our new score. Now Rockwall 23 and the Dragons 16. 5 seconds all it takes for Rockwall to get on the board. The 22-yard pass from Matt Jones to Sam Crawford. And just like that, 23-16. Rockwall on top. Kickoff with the wind. Booted by Cole Talley through the back of the end zone. The Dragons will have it at their 25-yard line. Well, the Dragons will have it first down and 10 from their own 25-yard line as Robert Sledge is in the backfield. Alongside Mason Holmes, will have to shake off that very costly interception just a moment ago. So they line up double stack receivers left and right and fake the handoff, and it's going to be Holmes on the keeper around the right end, gets across the 30 and will be good for the first down across the 35 out to the 36. Check Holmes' rushing numbers. He's bumped out by Tristan Anderson. 5 carries for 70 yards so far in the game. And that touchdown early. Again, that's after not carrying the ball a single time last week in the win against Martin.
And they really didn't need him on the ground last week, but that little added dimension is helpful. Running backs having a hard time finding much in the face of that very active front six. And the passing game having its fits and starts tonight.
Evan Ober in at center, replacing Miller. So Ober snaps the football to the quarterback, Holmes, who hands it to Sledge, and he'll get about a yard across the 36 to the 37, and the Dragons are going to burn one of their timeouts here with 2:15, or at least they're stopping the clock across the way. I'm not sure what that was for. Oh, somebody's helmet came off. That's what it was. So just a temporary stoppage. The Dragons still with all 3 timeouts, down to 2:05 of the clock running here in the first half. It's 2nd down and 9. Carroll from its 37 playing middle of the field. They'll shift the running back Gaines from right to left and now hand him the football, and he slithers up across the 40 out to the 45-yard line, maybe the 46. Be about a yard short of the first down. It's a tackle made by Austin Orgy, the Will linebacker.
And he lost his footing at about the 45, or he may have had another 5 or 10, but he ended up falling forward, but just shy of the first down marker.
Gaines on the carry, gets him to 3rd and 1, and they will hand it off to Gaines this time across the 45, gets out to the 47, gain of 2 and a first down. That'll stop the clock temporarily with 1:29 to go here in the first half. Again, the Dragons, and they're traveling all whites, white headgear, white tops, white bottoms, but they've got the dragon skin numerals. You'll have to see this to believe it. It looks almost lime green. Kind of hard on our spotter, Brandon Carpenter. Ryan Miller back in at sitter. Snaps the football to Holmes, and he's going to throw over on the left side as a man wide open, caught at the 35-yard line near the left boundary. It's Jackson Davis who spins out of bounds down around the 32. It's a gain of 21 yards from Holmes to Davis. Bell on the tackle.
Yeah, Barnes going on a deep route along the sideline draws the attention to the coverage. Davis then crosses underneath, smash concept, wide open, makes the catch for Carroll's 10th first down.
First down and 10. Carroll still with 1:10 to go in the first half from the 32. You're going to swing the pass out in the right flat. It's actually a lateral as it's caught by Jack Johansson, and he stumbles. Didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to be all the way back to the 36-yard line. Going to be a loss of 4 with 58 seconds remaining here until halftime.
Interesting call. Carroll seems to be moving the ball going downfield. That is just an east-west play that takes a step back. If Johansson is able to keep his footing, he doesn't have a lot of yards the way that was developing, but now you've kind of put a stick in the spokes and quelled the momentum that they're establishing on this drive, 2nd and 14 with less than a minute to play in the half.
Sideline update to Travis.
Well, last week we saw them throw it deep, 20 yards plus passes to Robert Barnes and let his athletic ability and his height take advantage over the defenders. They've really only tried that once, and the pass was thrown out of bounds and didn't really give Robert Barnes a chance. But with only a minute left to go in the half and you're this close to the end zone, I think you got to give your big man a chance.
We'll see if they do that. 61 seconds left until halftime. Dragons down by 7, 23-16. But Carroll with the football in scoring territory. 2nd down and 14 at the Rockwall 36-yard line. They'll line up 2 receivers left, 2 short side to the right. The running back is Gaines alongside Holmes, who takes the snap, and he throws over on the left side. Caught, but immediately brought down was the receiver Jackson Davis, who whisked off his feet by the defender for the Yellow Jackets. That's Richard Ardelin, who drops him after a gain of a couple.
See, and again, Carroll not going downfield. That ball was thrown just to the a little bit shy of the marker. Ardelane coming downhill played that well. Carroll not able to do anything with it on 2nd down.
Clock running down to 35 seconds to go until halftime. 3rd down and 12 from the 34. Snap it to Holmes. Going to go one-on-one. Left side down the boundary. Putting it up at the 5. It's caught into the end zone. Robert Barnes. Touchdown, Dragons. 34 yards on the strike from Holmes to Robert Barnes, who again, they just play one-on-one and say who can beat who. And again, it was Barnes who made the play, and the Dragons within a point. It's now 23-22 Rockwall.
That was just all Barnes' athletic ability. He's bigger, he had a step, and fighting one-on-one, that ball was thrown exactly where Barnes wanted it. He made a nice catch and then scooted into the end zone. Carroll now a kick away from tying it.
Well, the PAT from Cole Ramage puts the right foot into it, and it is up, and it is good, as the Carroll Dragons are now even the score on a huge play to even it up at 23 apiece. So the Dragons now, after all that, tie things up. Well, Kelly, that was really huge.
Not only that, I think we overlooked, this is the first touchdown pass of the season for Mason Holmes.
Yep.
Longest 3rd down they'd faced all season, 3rd and 12, and when they needed him to, the big guy, Robert Barnes, comes up big, just as Travis sort of foretold. That was eerily prescient of our sideline guy.
Yep, Trav was all over that one.
He's having a good night tonight.
Yep, well, if you had the under in this game, you're probably in trouble because we're at 46 now.
For entertainment purposes only.
Here in the first half. Well, just all the scoring. I expected to see some tonight, but not this volume early on. And again, as I mentioned, the violent swing and momentum with the almost touchdown by the Dragons, then the pick that led to a Rockwall score that made it 23-16. And then Carroll says, hey, no problem. We got 3 minutes left. They drive all the way down the field, and now we're back at 23 apiece. Kickoff is going to be punched deep onside down to the 17-yard line. Going to be fielded there and returned back out on the numbers to the 20, 25 to the 30 by Reed Rako. Out to the 30, and that is where they will have it. The Yellow Jackets, let's see if they just run one play and get into the locker room. Decent crowd making the trip tonight from Southlake as you look across the way. Again, this stadium holds 18,000. Big renovations they did here to Wilkerson Sanders Memorial Stadium. And of course, it's the home of not only Rockwall High, but Heath High School, town that they brought aboard here just a few years ago. So, two-school town, both 6A schools now. Heath's had a lot of success, as they are going to indeed just kind of go back and kneel out the half as Jones drops down. And that will be the final seconds of the half. At the end of the first half of play, it is Carroll 23 and Rockwall 23. As the Carroll Dragons coming back out on the field across the way, moments away from getting quarter number 3 started. Time now for the first half statistics. The Dragons will get the football and go left to right. That is north to south here in quarter number 3. To Rockwall to boot it away with the Sewell Cadillac and Grapevine kickoff for that 15-mile-an-hour wind. And Talley puts it through the back of the end zone, and the Dragon offense will come back out and start 1st and 10 from the 25. The Dragons on 1st and 10 for their own 25, put 2 receivers and a wing to the left side, 1 receiver, lone side to the right, and he will hand it off to Gaines on 1st down, and he will slither ahead for just a couple before he's met by the interior of the Rockwall defense. It's a stop made by Blake Barone and Tyler Satoff, the linebacker and the end respectively, gain of a couple on the play. The Dragons in traveling whites, the white headgear with the iconic Dragon logo on the helmets. They got the white tops and bottoms. And again, the Dragon skin numerals, which look lime green. New uniforms for the Dragons as far as the numbers go. For Rockwall, they call them the Angry Orange, even though they're the Yellow Jackets. They're orange tops and bottoms with all white numbers and trim, as it is a fake on the handoff, and Holmes on the keep on 2nd down and 8 gets knocked down for a loss of a yard back at the 26-yard line as Corey Barron makes the stop, the junior defensive tackle. He gets his 6th stop already in 3 games behind the line of scrimmage.
And thus far on this possession, Carroll offense looks stuck in the mud. Rockwall playing man coverage against the slower receivers. Barnes had not been in there on those first 2 snaps, and runs into the middle of the line have generated very little. Carroll facing a big 3rd and long earlier.
They need 9 yards from the 26-yard line. Shotgun snap to Holmes, who looks deep over the middle, has a man wide open, caught at the 45-yard line. To the 50 goes Jackson Davis into Rockwall territory to the 40-yard line, and he's finally brought down at the 38. That is just a streak right up the hash marks as Alston Orgy on the tackle, gain of 36 yards and a 1st down.
Made possible in part because Barnes is in there as an outside receiver on the left. He goes on a deeper slant pattern, secondary playing off of him, and that leaves a bubble open underneath.
On 1st and 10, give it to Audric Gaines, and he is buried for a loss of 2 back to the 40-yard line. First guy there was Corey Barron in that defensive tackle spot. So the Dragons, after a big play for it, lose 2 back the other way. We've got 10 minutes, 10 seconds to go. They're in quarter number 3, tied at 23 in Rockwall. Off week next week. The district starts 2 weeks from tonight in Flower Mound against Flower Mound High, the Jaguars. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right, short side of the field for Mason Holmes. Takes the shotgun snap, 4 on the rush. Looks over on the right side, throws to the boundary. A nice hands catch made at the 26-yard line. A nifty grab by Clayton Keys, the senior, who laid out to get that one in front of Wagnu, the quarterback. A gain of 14 yards and a 1st down for the Dragons.
That was some nifty footwork by Keys. He was right on the very edge of the stripe as he pulled that one in. Very well done.
from the 26-yard line. Sidelines to the right, open field to the left side. Again, 4 across the front for Rockwall. They're cheating one man up on the end, but they'll stay with a 4-man rush. Holmes, time to throw, goes left side. This time caught down at the 20-yard line and immediately hit in the back was the receiver, Cade Bell. It'll be a gain of 7 on the play down to the 19-yard line as Blake Garrett was in the coverage for the Yellow Jackets. By the way, did you mention the defensive coordinator, Kelly, for Rockwall, who that might be?
That would be the great Bill Patterson, former head coach of the Northwest Texans and an old friend of Metro Sports.
Here's a handoff going to Gaines, bounces inside the 19 on a 2nd and 3, gets to the 15 and all the way down to the 10, maybe even the 9-yard line. That is a gain. 17, and that's Bell on the tackle.
And this is just another example of things made possible by Robert Barnes' presence. I'll talk about that more in a minute.
From the 17 to the 9, here's a handoff. This is going to be Gaines carrying around the right end, gets to the 5 and gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Touchdown for the Dragons as Gaines on a very nondescript run got to the corner, headed to the pylon, and Carroll quickly regains the lead at 29-23.
Just a stretch play off to the left. Nice little kick out block by Green that gave Gaines the room to get to the perimeter. He did the rest with his acceleration. Nice job.
So the PAT from Cole Ramage. As Ramage splits the uprights and the Dragons extend the lead to 7. 9:05 to go third quarter. It's Carroll 30, Rockwall 23. 9:05 to go third quarter. Carroll now on top 30-23 as the Sewell Cadillac of Grapevine kickoff, this time into the wind from Cole Ramage, fielded at the 3-yard line by Cameron Creighton. Comes back from right to left across the 10 to the 15, 20, out to the 25, and he's to the 27-yard line. And that is where Rockwall will have it first down and 10 yards to go as Grant Phelps was in on that tackle. 8 plays, 75 yards, 2 minutes and 55 seconds to start the second half. As on 1st and 10, it's going to be a running play from the 27. Matt Jones will get out across the 30, out to the 35-yard line to the 36, a gain of 9 before Barrett Buck makes the tackle.
And again, Jones does a very nice job on the ball fake. That sucks in and freezes at least one of the Carroll linebackers, not to mention the defensive front. And then Jones just jets off to the right side behind Scruggs and Gistel. Nice play on first down for this Rockwall offense. 2nd
down and 1 now from the 36 as they play on the right side hash. Set up the blocking back to the right side. Now start a man in motion. That is Crawford from left to right. A flag flies at the start of the play. So that will most likely be a motion and 5 yards against Rockwall.
It seems to be whichever offense is moving in that direction gets the penalties called on them. They've alternated. Rockwall in the first quarter, Carroll in the second, Rockwall here again in the third.
As Rockwall on 2nd down and 6 from the 31-yard line, snap it to Matt Jones, throws over on the right side of the 45, incomplete, as Sam Crawford was the intended receiver. The coverage there from Jake Murphy. Pass over on the right side, and it is caught out. Incomplete, beg your pardon. Popped free at the 35-yard line as Crawford had it, but Zion Sales popped it out, and a 3rd down and 6 becomes 4th and 6. It's going to be punt time. Punt time with the win. It's the quarterback, Matt Jones, going to kick this one away down the sidelines over on the right boundary beyond the Dragon bench, and it will get inside the 25 down to the 20-yard line. And let's see, wait a minute, now he's going to move it back upfield. They're going to the 29. That's where the Dragons will have it. First down and 10 yards to go after a 40-yard punt. On 1st down and 10 from the 29-yard line, they're in the jet sweep motion. Pitch to Cade Bell, and he will get across the 30 out to the 33-yard line. Be a pickup of 4 on the play before Orgy and Bell combine on the tackle. Nice. 30-23, Carroll on top.
Sorry about that. Just wanted to point out a nice block by Johansson out there on the perimeter. That play blows up for no gain, but he's able to beat his guy Orgy and get him driven to the outside.
From the 33-yard line, Dragons with the ball in a 7-point lead. Fake the handoff. It's going to be Holmes keeping around the left side. Look at him put his shoulder down as he gets to the 40-yard line, runs over a Rockwall tackler. It's 10 yards for Mason Holmes. who, Kelly, I'm not sure I like seeing that much contact with the Dragon quarterback, but he did lower the boom on that would-be tackler, Abbas Bell.
And he's not tiny. Holmes is 6'1", almost 200 pounds, so if he wants to lower his pads, he can probably lay a lick on you. He needed to do so there.
First down and 10 from the 43-yard line. This time he will hand it off, as it is Jack Johansson who goes left side for about a yard to the 44-yard line. Blake Barone on the tackle. Hope you enjoyed our pregame interviews today. Heard from guard Henry Kling and defensive back Jake Murphy. A couple of really good kids, Kelly. One thing I did hate to hear about Big Henry, though, a Washington Redskins fan.
Hey, but he's being recruited by my alma mater, the University of Kansas. So you can hold out hope if you're a Jayhawk fan.
There you have it. Here's a second down and 9, and they're going to hand it off this time going left for the football as Gaines will cross the 45-yard line, get out to the 48, pick up a 4 on the play. Barone again on the tackle for Rockwall. We've got a Duff's Famous Swing sideline update with Travis.
Mason Holmes having some trouble with his helmet. He's taken it off the last 2 plays and has been working on the padding on the inside, so something is bothering him with his helmet.
We'll see if they get that all sorted out. You want your quarterback feeling pretty good as he stands back in the shotgun, asking for the football on 3rd down and 5 from the 48-yard line. Carroll territory has the snap. Can't find a receiver. Rolls out to his right. Wanted to try to win a foot race, and he shakes and bakes around a defender at the 50 and gets to the 48 in Rockwall territory. Well, now they say he stepped out at the 49, so he's going to be 2 yards short of a first down, as it was Alston Orgy, the Will linebacker, who ushered him across the boundary. So they'll be 2 yards short, and it will be punt time for Carroll.
And Holmes looking downfield, had everybody covered, just decided to try to get it on his own. Came up a little short, but still good hustle and a nice run.
Standing back at his 35-yard line, the punter for the Dragons. As Cole Ramage puts the foot into it, again into the wind, holds it up. The return man steps out of the way as it hits at the 12-yard line and will roll inside the 10 down to about the 8. So after all is said and done, a 41-yard punt, touchdown by Hayden Hayes, and it will be first down for the Rockwall Yellow Jackets at that point. As on 1st and 10 from the 7-yard line, a pass play to Cameron Creighton comes out of the left side across the 20, gets out near the 25-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 17 yards, where they put it down right at the 25, as Jake Murphy was the one that bumped the receiver out of bounds.
Nice run after the catch by Creighton. He catches out on a little out route and then just turns on the jets.
Now here's a handoff, running play. Bailey bunches outside on the right and gets to the 40-yard line, out to the 43, maybe the 44 before Buck and Zion Sales get him. But it's a 19-yard gain by Lawyer Bailey, the 5'10 junior, who had just 19 yards coming into the game. So he gets his number right there, and another first down for Rockwall.
First carry of the game for Bailey, who's a lot like Blacknell, just a year younger, and another one with good speed and good shift.
Now Allison Strange in the ball game. They're going to give him the football, and the big guy Strange, who checks in at 205 pounds, crosses the line of scrimmage. The 44 gets out near the 50-yard line and will have positive yardage all the way to the Dragon 48, as Buck and Miskell on the tackle. So the Dragons seeing some fresh running backs as Blacknall out of the game. Bailey and Strange in on this drive for Rockwall.
Strange is just a pure downhill runner, but the guy is huge. He's listed at 6'1", 205. I caught a glimpse of him on the field before the action started tonight. That is one solidly put together young man.
Bailey, the junior, back in the running back position. They're going to fake the toss to him, and Jones is going to throw down the right side. It's incomplete down at the 28-yard line, right on the boundary. It was Rako, the intended receiver, and Robert Barnes was over in the coverage for the Dragons, so he knocks it away. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 at the Dragon 48.
Sort of a little wheel route by Rako, who again in that H-back position is primarily a blocker, but they will release him. He's got good speed and very good hands, and you can sneak him out of the backfield every now and then like they did just there, but the ball not well thrown. Barnes provided good coverage, so kind of a wasted opportunity.
From the 48-yard line, 5:04 to go here in the 3rd. Clock resting after the incompletion. Start a man in motion from left to right and hand it off to Sam Crawford, going around with the jet sweep motion, and he'll get the first down inside the 48, the line of scrimmage, down to the 45, a gain of about 3 as Vlanderen and Miskell on the tackle for the Dragons.
And that one was pretty well played by Carroll's D. They do a good job of adjusting in the locker room to lateral motion and jet sweeps. But again, when you're set up with 2nd and 3, that's a pretty easy conversion. Rockwall following form as they've done most of the night. They get 2nd and short. They go downfield. They try to air it out and then just go back to the ground game to convert the first down.
Allison Strange back in the backfield. Lines up beside the quarterback. And it is Jones who takes the snap, hands it to Strange, comes left inside the 45, downhill to the 40, to the 39-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 6 on the play. Barrett Buck on the tackle for the Dragons. So Rockwall on quite a roll right here, Kelly. 4:20, clock running, quarter number 3.
Just a little outside zone run. He makes the cut between Smalley and Smith on the left side. Spittler gets an arm on him, but unable to tackle him. Strange just runs through the arm tackle.
Quarterback Matt Jones brings a man in motion from right to left, set up a double wing set, and they're going to hand it off. Nope, going to be quarterback keep as Jones took it out of the belly of Strange. 2 Dragons collapsed on the running back who did not have the football, and it was Jones going around right in who gets a couple of Spittler and Miskell. Been busy linebackers tonight on the tackle for Carroll.
And this is where Carroll has struggled with really good, well-coordinated rushing offenses. They collapse in on the running back, but a mobile quarterback is going to have his opportunities. Geyer did that in the playoffs last year, and Rockwall kind of borrowing a page from that playbook.
3rd down and 3 from the 38-yard line. Again, start the motion, coming from right to left, and a little toss inside to Crawford, trying to get to the corner. Instead, the Dragons string him out and knock him toward the boundary at the 37-yard line. So that is going to be short of the first down by a couple of yards. He needed 3. He got 1. So when they set it down, it's going to be 4th and 2 with 3:05 to go here in the 3rd quarter, Kelly. So here is a big play for the Dragon defense.
Well, this is definitely 4-down territory, the way this Rockwall offense is functioning. A point worth noting is Eric Spittler had a chance to blow that jet sweep up in the backfield. You'd be looking at 4th and 7. Maybe you think about it, but they're going to go.
Statistically, 4th and a long one. Call it the 36. Man in motion from left to right, and now timeout is called by Rockwall before the snap. 4th down and 2 for the 37. Quick snap. Quarterback Jones rolls to throw. It's deflected and almost intercepted at the 35-yard line, and the Dragon defense has held on 4th down as Rockwall elects to go for it, but it was deflected by Eric Spittler, and the Carroll defense has forced the turnover.
And you know, this Carroll defense has had its issues at critical moments, but that was a good opportunity for them to stand tall, and that's what they did. Dragon offense got a 7-point lead, decent field position here late in the 3rd quarter.
1st down and 10. Carroll will take over from its own 37-yard line. 2:40 to go, quarter number 3. They're going from north to south into the wind. That is left to right. Carroll, the white unis against the Rockwall orange. As the snap to Mason Holmes. They'll put it in the belly of Audric Gaines, who starts around the left end, has room 40, 45, 50. Gets to the 45 and bumped out of bounds at the 40-yard line. There's a flag at the end of the play, and is that Mason Holmes who's mixing it up back here with one of the No, it wasn't. It was one of the blocking backs for the Dragons. Reed Thompson, who's in the game, was mixing it up with one of the Rockwall Yellow Jackets. That was near Holmes. So temper is starting to flare down on the field, and that flag looks like it's against Carroll because the Dragons are backtracking, and they're going to bring it all the way back inside the 30-yard line.
And we'll wait for the call, but whatever it is, it negated a nice run by Audric Gaines on a stretch play to the left side against man free. He gets around Abbas Bell, the safety playing center field. And only 2 yards of his carry will stand.
Well, they go with a two-back set again and keep Thompson as the blocking back. Holmes takes the shotgun snap, puts it in the belly of Gaines. This time goes around left end. He'll have a much shorter gain that time as he gets across the 30 out to the 32-yard line before Blake Garrett, the right safety, makes the tackle for Rockwall.
And Gaines running tough on that play. He makes the initial contact with Garrett. He lowers his shoulder, but Garrett really got the better end of the exchange. slowing Gaines' momentum. 13 carries for 40 yards, and Carroll now facing third and a bundle.
Second and 13 it is from the 34-yard line. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Snap it to Holmes. Going to go one-on-one deep down the left sideline. The ball knocked away down at the 40. They were looking for Barnes, had him singled up with Tristan Anderson, but the junior Anderson with a good job to knock it away from Barnes. That'll bring up third down.
And Anderson getting a little help over there on the perimeter. He's running stride for stride with Barnes. And I think it was Orji coming over from the left safety position to cover Garrett. Yeah, it was Garrett, according to our spotter, providing a little additional coverage. And now Carroll facing third in a bunch.
They're 4 of 7 on third down tries. They need 13 for their own 34-yard line. Shotgun snap to Holmes. Has an open receiver caught across the 50-yard line. Over on the right boundary, it's Cade Bell who gets down to the Rockwall 40, and he's out of bounds at the 37. It's a 29-yard pickup as Bell on the tackle. Abbas Bell tackles Cade Bell, but a big third down and 13 conversion for the Dragons.
Well, and Bell went down hard on the sideline. He is still down over there by the Rockwall bench. But nice job by Cade Bell making that catch, finding a little spot in the zone. Rockwall spinning to cover 3, and they left just a little sliver open. That ball delivered on a line to Bell. He did a great job making the catch, but now we're hoping he can get up and shake it off.
6 catches. 125 yards for Cade Bell, who started the day with 73 yards, so he's already blown way past that. He was the third leading receiver on the team coming in, the 5'10 junior. This play again is halted down on the field with 1:38 to go here in the third quarter. The Dragons on top 30-23. Well, out of the timeout, first out of 10, Dragons in the Rockwall 37 as they'll hand it off to Gaines, and he will run downhill over on the left side, down inside the 35, close to the 31-yard line. A good block by Jack Johansson to help spring him for 6 yards on the play.
Well, he kind of got away with one. If you want to get downright technical, that was as much of a mauling as it was a block, but no flag thrown, 2nd and 4. That's what you want. Easier to move the chains when you're not behind them.
Short side of the field is to the left. 2 receivers come to the right. That's the open side of the field. They'll dial it to Johansson this time. He'll put his head down and get the ball inside the 30, down to the 29. A gain of a couple on the play. It'll bring up third down about 1.5 yards as Austin Orji was on the stop. There's the snap to Holmes, who put it in the belly of Gaines on third down and 1 yard, and he tried to get down to the 27, but actually didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He wound up losing 1 yard. First guy to hit was Blake Barone, and now the Dragons with the decision here as they're going into the wind, up by 7 late in the third quarter. They've got a 4th down and 2. You'd think they're within Ramage's range. They would make it a 2-possession game, but at 4th and 2, I suspect that they will most likely go ahead and go for it. Let's quickly go down the sidelines.
Well, in the warm-ups heading into the wind, Cole Ramage could hit about 45 yards. He didn't have much more than that as the ball was just dropping out of the sky. So that's about what we're at right now.
Well, I'm not sure what just happened, but the Dragons ran it all the way down and called timeout. We'll break with them. 14 seconds to go third quarter. The Dragons up by 7. On 4th down and 2, the Dragons hand it off to Gaines, trying to bounce around the left end, needed to get down around the 27, and he's run out of bounds short of the yardage needed for the first down as Austin Orji knocked him out of bounds 1 yard short. And with 7 seconds to go in the third quarter, after a very strange turn of events, the Dragons use one of their timeouts and then stay right where they were, run a play to the sideline, and it comes up short.
Unfortunate. Carroll with 2nd and 4, 3 running plays. They are unable to pick up 4 yards with that big offensive line. And I think some of it is just indecision in the backfield, but there comes a time where you've got to just step on the gas, lean on those big hosses up front, drive the defense back. This is a team that should be built to do that. They weren't able to on this possession, and now Rockwall has the ball back.
First down and 10, Rockwall from its own 29-yard line. Again, 7 seconds to go in the third quarter. Set up the blocking back to the right side, and the quarterback, Matt Jones, brings a man in motion. Now the jet sweep formation instead going to throw deep downfield. A nice defensive play made at the 45-yard line by Zion Sales on Cameron Creighton, the intended receiver. That used up 4 seconds off the clock. 3 ticks remaining in quarter number 3.
That was nice defense by Sales. With him step for step, does not let him get separation, uses his hands at exactly the right moment. That ball was thrown on a rope. Jones has great arm strength, throws a nice deep ball, has good timing. Sales batted that one away.
Carson Sargent in the game at a blocking back as the quarterback Jones takes the snap on second down and 10. Final play of the quarter is he'll hand it off in a short gain by A.J. Blacknall. He missed quite a bit of the third quarter. He's back in, and he gets maybe a yard to the 30. And quarter number 3 is expired. Fourth quarter to start. Rockwall with the football from its own 30-yard line. Third down and 8. Shotgun snap to Matt Jones. Throws the left sideline to the Dragon bench, and it's caught at the 41 for a first down as Sam Crawford hauls that in front of Jake Murphy. So Rockwall with a gain of 12 yards. And 4 seconds into the fourth quarter, they've got a fresh set of downs.
And you just let them get away. You've got them 3rd and 8. That's nice execution by the offense, but that's when you want to pin your ears back, smell a little blood.
That catch made just a moment ago by Crawford gets it out to the 42-yard line as they'll hand it off. Running play, Blacknall trying to come right on the 1st and 10, gets a yard out to the 43, maybe halfway to the 44, so a gain of a couple. Buck and Miskell on the tackle. Third quarter numbers brought to you by Dr. Mark Greenberg and All-Star Orthopedics. Total yards, Carroll 419, Rockwall 371. Dragons with 253 of those yards passing, 166 on the ground. First downs in favor of Carroll, 16-14. Go online and visit allstarortho.com. Second down 9 from the 43-yard line. Man in motion from left to right. Quarterback Jones takes the snap, goes back to the left, and he will dive out across the 45 out to the 47-yard line. So that'll be a pickup of 4 on the play. It's John Miskell and Eric Spidler on the tackle for the Dragons.
Well played by the Dragons. Good ball fake to the back. Not everybody crashes in on that. It's honored, but for the most part, people stay home. And when Jones cuts it off to the left side of that line, looking for the hole by Smalley, the Dragons are there. And now it's 3rd and a manageable number.
Yep, big play here. They need 5 from the 47-yard line. They'll hand it on the jet sweep coming from left to right. Crawford trying to get to the boundary. He does not get the yardage he needs for the first down. In fact, he gets stopped for a yard loss as Jacob Doddridge was the first one over with help from Barnes. So they try to go side to side and unable to get the yardage needed for the first down. They'll be forced to punt.
Well, and another positive sign, Carroll's been ripped by the jet sweep at various points tonight, but they seem to have done a pretty good job adjusting to it here in the second half. And it does look like Jones is back for a punt, but take nothing on faith, folks.
Well, again, because he has 2 punts, 37 yards, but 1 pass that converted a 4th down early in the game. The Dragons have nobody back, so they're going to kick that one down inside the 25 to the 20, and they're going to roll it all the way down to about the 17-yard line with exactly 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. A 37-yard punt. The Dragons will take over, leading 30-23. So on 1st and 10 from the 17, Mason Holmes, the quarterback, is going to hand it off, and Audric Gaines is going to stumble forward as he goes right across the 20, still moving 25. The pile is still moving out to the 29-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 12 yards for Audric Gaines as Barone was in there and a whole bunch of other jackets also too, but that pile kept moving. It looks like there's also a flag down, Kelly.
I don't see, yeah, there it is back there at about the 16-yard line. That's not where you want to see it thrown. This may end up negating a really gutty physical run by Audric Gaines.
Hold against the Dragons, it appears.
That's 6 for 65 yards on Carroll tonight, and they have come at very bad moments. And what was terrible about that is with Rockwall coming out in cover 2, defense sitting back on its heels a little bit, there was plenty of opportunity for Gaines to get yards. A nice run on his part, but now Carroll looking at 1st and 19.
Well, they've got it marked inside the 10, back around the 8-yard line. Carroll will stay with a two-back set as Mason Holmes takes the snap, drops into the end zone to throw, fires it out left side. It is incomplete out around the 20-yard line as it was deflected along the way by Alston Orgy. Yes, Davis was intended receiver, so after all that, incomplete pass, second down and long.
Boy, that ball looked funny as it got close to the intended target. It looked like somebody maybe got a hand on it and deflected it, but open receiver, unable to connect, and now Carroll way behind the chains.
Second down, 19 from the Carroll 8. 4 across the front for Rockwall. 3 in the pattern for the Dragons as Holmes flushed out, rolls to his right, going to jump and throw upfield, and it's caught at the 25-yard line. And to the 26 goes Hudson Schrum, the junior, who hauled in a leap pass for Mason Holmes as Tristan Anderson on the tackle. By the way, also a flag down on the field, so let's see what this is about. Looks like it's going to be against the Yellow Jackets, I should say, and it's going to be personal foul, unnecessary roughness. How about that, Kelly?
Well,
Tack on 15.
There you go. Nice little break. And that was really a very heady play by Schrum and Mason Holmes. Again, Holmes kind of running for his life out there on the perimeter. Schrum, seeing his guy is in trouble, comes back to the ball. That's just good thinking and improvisation. Tack on the penalty, and Carroll now in a position to make something happen here. They need to score, make this a 2-possession game.
Well, and especially with the clock winding down now on 9 minutes. There's 9:10 to go in the fourth quarter. The Dragons with a big march could maybe put this one a little bit toward ice. Here is Holmes scrambling around, finally gets rid of the football, throws it away over on the right sideline, incomplete. He was looking for Robert Barnes. Anderson back there with him. So it stops the clock with 9:04 to go in the fourth quarter. Second down 10. Dragons from the 41. Snapping to Holmes and puts it in the belly of Gaines. They'll go at right guard and get yardage out to the 44. So a gain of about 3 yards on the play. Tackle made by Anthony Orgy. Again, these Orgy boys, one a junior, one a sophomore.
And both very talented. Anthony, the sophomore in particular, 6'1", 205. We'll talk more about him in a minute, but this is a kid that's going to play on Saturdays.
Third down and 6. Carroll, big third down here from their own 45-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Again, 6 in the box for the Rockwall Yellow Jackets. The pass swung out quickly in the left sideline, caught by Keys, actually near the 50. Right at the numbers is where he made the catch, and he's forward to the 47. That's good for a Dragon first down. Pickup of 8 on the play as Flournoy and Garrett on the tackle for Rockwall.
And that's the stuff you weren't seeing out of Carroll week 1, those little slant routes at the 5 to 8 yard mark. That was perfectly executed. Keys falling forward to get the first down.
Timeout called on the field as Rockwall wants to stop play, and we'll break with them. 8:12 to go. Fourth quarter. Dragons up by 7, 30-23. First down and 10 for the 47. Pass over on the right side, almost intercepted. It was intended for Robert Barnes, but Mason Holmes almost got it picked. Anderson over in the coverage for the Jackets. Big incompletion. The fact that that's all it was, Kelly.
Very fortunate. The ball bounced off Barnes' hands, but bounced high, and there were 2 Yellow Jackets in the area. Break for the Dragons.
Second down and 10 from the 47. Here is a handoff to Gaines. He'll bounce inside the 45, gets down to the 43. It's a gain of 4 yards. Clock running under 8 minutes to go. Fourth quarter. Tackle made again by Anthony Orgy.
What they like about this kid is he's big enough to play the low safety in this 4-2-5. He's 6'1", 205, but with 4.5 speed, he can play high safety and cover. Very versatile player coming into his own.
Dragons are 6 of 10 on third down tries. They need 6 from the Rockwall 43-yard line. They converted 3rd and 6 just 3 plays ago, so let's see if they can do it again. 1 receiver to the left, 2 to the right. They're showing blitz up front. Let's see if they come after Holmes. Yep, here they come, 6, but they blow the play dead right at the snap, and it's a legal procedure against Carroll. Ouch. Well, the 3rd down and 6 becomes 3rd down and 11. Sideline update. With Travis Smith.
Well, Anthony Orgy was coming up on that safety blitz, and he creeped up to the line of scrimmage a couple of times, and he got one of the offensive linemen to jump as he was encroaching on that blitz there.
Dragons with a 7-point lead. from the 48-yard line in Rockwall territory. Going to run the option right as they pitch it to Johansson. Spins away from a tackle, but he's dropped at the 47, a gain of only a yard. So the Dragons play fairly conservative there on 3rd and long. Set up 4th down here. And let's see if they punt it away. It's Corey Barron on that tackle.
I like the idea of Carroll running a little traditional option. You've established Holmes as enough of a running threat that they've got to respect him. But that one was very well covered. I mean, there was really nowhere for Johansson to go after the pitch was forced. And so Carroll comes up empty and has to kick it away.
Cole Ramage with the line of scrimmage, the 47, puts the right foot into it, skies it down near the 10-yard line. The return man's going to go there, and it's going to hit and be killed at the 14-yard line. That's where the 33-yard punt will be done. Reed Thompson puts it down, and the Dragon defense will come out. 6.5 to go in the 4th quarter, and Carroll up by 7. On 1st down and 10 from the 14-yard line, the quarterback, Matt Jones, going to throw over here to Sam Crawford out beyond the 20-yard line. Catch made there, gain of about 5 on the play as Sales in the coverage.
He's 13 of 22 on the night, but if you look at his passing, the first 7 he threw, he was 6 of 7. The next 7, he was 4 of 7. The last 7, he was 2 of 7 prior to that one. But he's also throwing behind receivers a little now.
Here's a handoff, goes to Blacknall, trying to find running room up the middle as he needed 5 yards for the first down. And for the 19, he gets out to the 25. That is good for the 1st and 10 as the tackle is made by Eric Spindler. So 5:53 in the clock running. Again, Rockwall going into the wind. That's to our right to the south end here at Wilkerson Sanders Memorial Stadium. Here's the snap to Matt Jones. Fakes the handoff, throws over on the left side. The pass is caught at the 35-yard line, and diving to the 36 is Sam Crawford. He was in a battle there with Jake Murphy. That's a gain of 11 yards on the play, and another Rockwall first down, and that is Jones now going over the 200-yard mark, passing for Rockwall as senior quarterback, now 202 for the evening. He came in with just 314 in the first 2 games combined. They empty the backfield as the snap to Jones. He's going to throw over on the left sideline. It's caught beyond the 40, out to the 45-yard line. A gain of 8 yards. Cameron Creighton was out there, actually marked him out at the 44 as Murphy over in the coverage. We're down to 5:12 to go, 4th quarter. Clock stopped. Dragons leading 30-23, but Rockwall tried to mount a tying drive.
Well, and it's a very deliberate pace. They're going from side to side, perimeter to perimeter. You look like they'd be content to just eat up as much clock as they can.
Jones hands it to Blacknall, breaks one tackle, line of scrimmage, spins across the 45, gets to the 50, and still on his feet to the Dragon 47-yard line. A gain of 9 on the play. John Miskell and Robert Barnes on the tackle. Now 75 yards on the night for Blacknall on 17 carries.
And how many of those are after contact? You probably don't want to know, but that run, another example. He's hit early, spins out of a couple of tackles, and finishes the run very strong.
Set up the strength of the formation to the left. First down and 10 from the Dragon 47. Play fake, one pump, now going deep down the left side. One-on-one coverage, and incomplete at the 20-yard line. No flag is thrown as it was intended for Talley, but a pretty good job of coverage back there from Barrett Bach.
Yeah, Talley comes up waving the flag, the proverbial flag, looking for the gesture, but that was just well played. And Jones lucky to get rid of that one. There was pressure coming from a couple different directions.
So Rockwall trying to stretch out this Dragon defense. Instead, setting up a 2nd down and 10 at the Carroll 47-yard line. Matt Jones, the quarterback, single setback. Again, the play fake. He's going to roll out to his right, throw downfield to the 40-yard line, caught at the 35, and down at that point after a gain of 12 is Cole Talley. Jacob Doddridge on the tackle. So now Rockwall starting to get in striking position. 4:36 to go here in the 4th.
And once again, just a little out route, kind of a box out, finding a seam in the zone coverage, and pitch and catch for the Rockwall first down.
1st and 10 at the Dragon 35-yard line. Playing up the right side hash. One receiver to the left, 2 short side to the right. Jones takes the snap, throws to that single receiver, and it's caught inside the 30 by Cameron Creighton. He's immediately tackled off his feet by Jake Murphy, and that's going to be a gain, though, of 7 on the play, and Rockwall continuing to move.
Rockwall sees the blitz coming from that direction. They move Reed Rako over as a blocker on the edge and then throw to the single receiver coming off of that spot. Good adaptation.
2nd down and 3 from the 28. They set up the bubble screen right side. Pass is caught by Crawford with a block inside the 25. Gets down to the 24. Got to be good for the first down. 20th first down in the game. Pickup of 4 for Rockwall. Buck and Sales on the tackle. Clock running, 4:10 to go fourth quarter. Dragons up by 7, 30-23, but Rockwall on the roll. Down to the 24-yard line. Snap it to Jones. Put it in the belly of the running back. Blacknall with a nice move as he shakes inside the 20. Gets down to the 19-yard line. They continue to move the football. 5 yards on that carry. Luke Jeter on the tackle.
And that was just a nice run by Blacknall. Not power on that play, but finesse and a good jump cut. He sees the hole blown open by Scruggs, reverses direction, and picks up 5.
2nd down, 5 from the 19. Jones, shotgun snap, hands it to Blacknall, goes straight ahead, and Doddridge rides him down, but not before he gets to the 15, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and about a yard. Clock running down to 3:25 and now under in the fourth quarter.
And, of course, you know this is 4-down territory, and up there is motion. That's going to move it back a little.
3rd and 1 just outside the 15 now becomes 3rd and 6 because somebody jumped along the line for the Rockwall Yellow Jackets, and the Dragon defense might have just caught a break because, again, it is 4-down territory as the Jackets have burned 2 of their timeouts, so they've only got 1 timeout left, and the clock back in motion, 3:12 to go here in the fourth quarter. Ryan Miller has come in at the nose guard position for the Dragons as he's back in the defensive front, trying to stack some beef there as it's 3rd and 6 from the 20. And another jump in the line, and did Rockwall just cost itself 10 yards? I believe they did.
Indeed, that is what it looks like. The Black Hat walking backwards.
That is the call. Sideline update, Travis.
Now, it has not been the case most of the night, but that was the case with the defensive line for the Dragons do that little shift, and they get the offense to jump. If you remember the game against Temple where they had like 11 illegal procedure penalties, it was basically the same thing. They just do a little shift to left or the right and just makes the offensive lineman jump.
Jeter, Simrak, and Miller along the defensive front as the clock put back in motion, 2:49, 2:48. Clock running fourth quarter. Carroll leading 30-23 here in Rockwall. Trying to hang on. Matt Jones, the quarterback, sends 2 receivers to the left. 1 short side to the right. Change the string to the right. Low shotgun snap. Here comes the pressure off the edge. Jones running for his life. He's in trouble. Dumps the football. Didn't get it back to the line of scrimmage. That should be a grounding as he had one of the Dragons right on his back. No flag just yet as they're talking about it. At worst, it's going to be an incomplete pass.
There it is.
And now there's the flag from Miles McCord as John Miskell came in a hurry and forced Jones to get rid of the ball. That was not a heads-up play by the senior quarterback of Rockwall, although he was trying to avoid the sack. But you got to get the ball back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you don't really have a lot of options there. You're either going to go down and lose the yardage, or you can hope to get it in the vicinity of a receiver. But either way, it's not just the yardage, it's loss of down. So now it's 4th down and a distance vast and long. A loss of 11 on that play.
Yep, lost 11 yards. And again, no additional penalty, so I beg your pardon. I guess it really did not matter. It's a penalty for no yards, so don't tack anything onto it. So basically, here's the game. 2:21 remaining, 4th and 22 at the Dragon 36. Here's the snap to Jones. Hit as he gets rid of it. Pass downfield, deflected once, deflected twice, and it is incomplete at the Dragon 30-yard line, and the Carroll defense is held, and with 2:14 remaining, it looks like the Dragons are going to get out of town with a victory.
That was huge, and it starts on both ends of the plays. I mean, for one thing, Jones throwing under duress. He could see the rush coming. He unloads the ball in a hurry and is not able to put it where he wants it. He unloads it high, so the pass is deflected, bounces around a little, comes down to earth harmlessly, and yes, Carroll now with 2:14 to go has the ball, and it's just a matter of eating as much of this clock as they can.
A 13-play, 50-yard drive comes up empty for the Rockwall Yellow Jackets. Took 4 minutes and 16 seconds, and they get 0 on the scoreboard. And their coaching staff in the booth beside us not happy at all, as they thought they were marching toward perhaps a tying score. Instead, it looks like they may fall to 0-3 on the year as the Dragons looking to hold on for their 36. Snap at the quarterback, Holmes. He's going to carry around the right end, and he will fall down on his backside at the 35. Just again, letting the clock run. Rockwall has only one timeout left, as that's a loss of a yard on the play, and I guess Rockwall is going to use the timeout here. Out of the Wildcat, I should say. Barnes takes the snap with running room, bounces outside right with the football, gets to the 40, gets to the 50, into Rockwall territory, and he'll get all the way to the 42-yard line. So Robert Barnes said, hey, give me the football. 23 yards later, another first down.
Mr. Wildcat, how do you like that?
Wow.
When hearkening back to Carroll's stand on that last drive, a 4-minute drive, no points yielded, that's the epitome of bend but don't break. And now Carroll putting an exclamation point on it here. That first down by Barnes may be all we needed.
From the 42-yard line, again, Rockwall is out of timeouts. The Dragons will probably be able to run this out even without a first down. As the snap to Mason Holmes, and he will find a sliver, and he'll get down inside the 40. A flag flies.
A little bit of a scrum out there at the Rockwall 30 between Blake Garrett and an as yet unidentified Carroll receiver. And the way Holmes went down, you could have had a horse collar or a face mask. Hard to see.
Apparently, it's going to be a face mask.
Well, this has got to be a tough one for this Rockwall team. These guys are abundantly talented. That much is clear. And yeah, 0-3, they've been there before and it didn't hurt them, but that's certainly not what anybody would prefer. They were in this game all the way, and this is going to be a tough one to swallow for this Rockwall Yellow Jacket team.
But looking at it through the Dragons' eyes, what a big victory. I mean, it was one that was uneven, to say the least, but it looks like they're going to get out of Rockwall County with a win and improve to 2-1 on the year heading into the off week. Get some guys that are injured back, get ready for district play 2 weeks from tonight in Flowermount against the Jaguars, as on 1st and 10 from the Rockwall 24. Holy cow. Well, the quarterback, Holmes, went back to kneel the football and one of the over-eager Rockwall Yellow Jackets. That was Blake Garrett, came in a little excited, and he gave Holmes quite a shot. So not only is that going to mark the half the distance to the goal, it'll allow the Dragons probably to try to run it out a little more safely in the next play or two.
And in all fairness, that's really the issue here. All Holmes needed to do was take a knee, but he was back there on 2 feet. And you're a safety, and you like to tackle people. It's your job, so you go do your job. But he was perhaps a tad more aggressive than the circumstances required.
It wasn't a cheap shot. It was just over-exuberant.
Well, and that's a player who is prized for his exuberance. That's one of the things that we were told about Garrett earlier in the week by Rodney Webb. They love his athleticism and his aggression. They just didn't like it as much right there, probably.
Dragons in the victory formation. Ball marked at the 16-yard line. Clock running down to 1:05 and under. Still 10 on the play clock, so the Dragons are going to let some more time milk off before the snap to Mason Holmes, who is standing at the 21-yard line in Rockwall territory. Takes the snap, immediately goes to a knee this time.
That's better.
Yep. And now we're under 50 seconds. We'll have one more snap to go.
Learn from the mistakes of Joe Pizarczyk, I always say.
As one more snap, and that'll do it as the clock down under 20 seconds, and the Carroll Dragons celebrating across the way as they have just picked up a hard-fought victory. Handshakes about to come at the middle of the field as we are down to 7 seconds and 6 and then 5, and the clock heading down towards zeros, and this one is officially in the books. Carroll wins it by a final score of 30-23. Handshakes down on the field. Carroll improves to 2-1. Rockwall now 0-3.